Hello guys, how are you? It's Henry Saiz in the studio and I'm gonna show you a little bit about how I created the kick library for Audiotent. Follow me and I'll show you. Hello guys, so I'm gonna show you how I made this sound. With this sound in particular, for the Audiotent kick library, I created some of them with machine drums, with analog stuff. For this one in particular, I think it's easier to show you how I made this one because I made it using software, so it's easier for me to go through all the parameters that I used. This is the sound of the final. This is the final sound, and as you can see, it's made out of two layers. We have this one here. Sorry, which sounds pretty deep, but by adding this one, you get all the punch, you get all the presence, and that makes the kick drum easier to spot in the whole track. You know, for club music, it's very important to have a very nice punch and clear kick drum that is always on the mix. That's always like uh, giving that punch feeling to the people that are listening to it. So it's very important to have one of these parts without the deep, without the low frequencies. It's just a very annoying sound. But well, adding both of them, you create this very nice kick drum sound. So I started with this. Then, in order to control the decay a bit more, even though you can of course design the sound very accurate with all these parameters here, but I love to just, when I'm sure this is the kind of sound I want, I turn it into audio. That's what I did here, in order to control the decay a bit more if I need to do that, because it's just easier to have like control and to make it go down to silence if you need. So this is what I did. I put this sound into this audio track. I made a nice fade out to control the decay, because it's always very annoying when it gets too much decay and the kick drum is just making the whole mix sound like blurry and moody. So this is what I did. Of course, adding this part also, and very very important, all the processing here we are getting. um, I'm not gonna make this too long or too complicated, so I'm gonna go quickly um, over all the effects that we are using. We're using Reason here as a effects processor. This is Screen 4 is a very nice distortion unit where you can get all these different algorithms for distortion. In this case, we're using tape distortion. These parameters here, even this nice and simple EQ here, is just to give it a more loudness feeling. So this is why the mid frequencies are a bit down, to give that loudness vibe. We are doing a bypass, and as you can see, it's all about the texture, the punch and the texture that this gives is very nice. We also have the emulation of the SSL master bus compression from Reason, which is very cool. Let's make a bypass. Very nice and tight. And we have all kind of stuff here, the neutron sculpture, just to make it sound a bit more like thick and just powerful. We have ozone here, a vintage tape. We are actually using this clarity preset here as a starting point, and then I changed a couple of things just to make it sound more clear. We have some more here. This is all about, let's make a bypass here. This is a very subtle distortion going for the high frequencies, and the most important, maybe in this case in particular, is the drum bass from Ableton here. Let's make a bypass. As you can see, it's a very dramatic effect. We are very careful with this because this machine can destroy a sound, but the dry wet parameter here is the most important, I would say, because we are just adding 16% of the effect to the whole thing, and it sounds pretty good. But if we go more than that, just too much. Well, for hardcore music might be good, but for the kind of stuff I do, I prefer the kick drum to be always there, but just not too overwhelming. So this is the right amount of compression, of transients. Of course, every designer has his own taste, but in this case in particular, I think this is the right amount of thing. It's all about making a balance. You don't want to go too far and destroy your signal. So this is, and I think it's a nice balance um, of effects, and just I'm trying to design a very nice kick drum that can be used for any kind of club music. So I also like to just, as you can see, to understand how it would be in a 120 BPM uh, environment. So let's put some groove on it, and then you realize that it's gonna work for a club song. And again, the kick drum is just that deep sound and that kind of acoustic sounding thing that I took actually from the Nordrum 3P from Clavia. And this is basically what it did for this kick in particular. I hope you enjoy the rest of the sounds. I hope you enjoy the library, and I hope you can make something very interesting and very nice using these kick drums. Thank you so much. Thank you to Audiotent. It's Henry Scythe. See you soon. Bye. Thank you.